On the occasion of International Human Rights Days, we will talk with Fernando González, one of the Cuban Five.
Greetings to all our friends in Canada who are gathered here today in this International Human Rights Day. It is a duty for me to express the gratitude of the Cuban Five from our families to all of you who've been struggling for us all these years and all the events that you have organized and taken part in. I mean, all the meetings or all the standings in front of the U.S. embassies and U.S. consulates, and all the initiatives that you've been producing, organizing, and developing all these years on behalf of the Cuban Five. So from Cuba, our thanks, our love, and our commitment to the struggle. Thank you all.
Fernando, as one of the freed Cuban Five after some 15 years of having been unjustly held in U.S. prisons, are there any plans to claim compensation or redress for the loss of so many years of life to a United Nations tribunal as per international law?
Not that I know of. Personally, I haven't thought about making a claim for compensation for the years in prison. My goal now is to bring the three other brothers back to Cuba. So that's what I've been involved in, and really I haven't given any thought about making any claim to an international court for compensation. International courts may be or might be used, or we might go to international courts in order to help the three brothers that are still in prison to come back to Cuba. But haven't really thought about any kind of compensation for that.
So many activities like the one today in Toronto of the 10th of December are organized to inform the general public about the case of the Cuban Five. What are your thoughts about the possibility of arrests? And by arrests, we are referring to actors and actresses such as Danny Glover, Susan Sarandon, Martin Sheen, and others who have expressed their solidarity with others, with the Cuban Five over the years. What do you think about the fact to produce a film based on the life of the Cuban Five with a title along the lines of Love versus Terrorism or something similar, since Cuba has such a great center for film productions? Do you think that it would be possible to get the Cuban Five on the big screens in cinemas across North America?
Well, I think the story of the Cuban Five is a very interesting story that would make for a good movie. However, the difficulty may be to distribute the film throughout the United States. A very good film can be shot and edited, and the difficulty would be to find a distribution company in the United States to make the film really something that is viewed by many people or individuals throughout the States. And it doesn't mean that the film cannot be made. I think the story is very good. It's a story that would be of interest for the population in the United States to watch and see. My question is, who would distribute such a film in the United States? That's a question that needs to be answered. And if we find an answer to that, I'm sure the film is made.
And Fernando, what are your thoughts on the recent New York Times articles on Cuba and on the Cuban Five?
Well, it is really interesting that the New York Times has been publishing editorials regarding Cuban-U.S. relations in the last month or so, and specifically about the Cuban Five. And it's something ironic that the New York Times editorialized about an issue that they have been denying their readers to know about for years, because they haven't published about the Cuban Five. Now they are editorializing about the Cuban Five. However, I think it's interesting that they did, and that they called the President of the United States to exchange the individual that is in prison in Cuba for the 3 remaining brothers of ours that are still in prison. It's interesting what's happening. I think the New York Times reflects what the newspaper considers to be the interest of power sectors in the United States. So it's interesting to see what has been developing in the last month or so, because something might be underneath those opinions.
Last but not the least, what are your thoughts on what Gerardo's statement that only a jury of millions will bring us home? And what is your message to the folks gathered here today who would like to join the campaign for the freedom and justice for the Cuban Five?
I think what Gerardo said about the jury of millions is true. I mean, we have to keep working, we have to keep educating folks throughout the world. We need to keep putting pressure on the U.S. government, and we have to continue doing what we've been doing for years, and what the friends gathered in this event have been doing for years. And it will be that jury of millions that are going to free Gerardo, Ramon, and Tony, and we'll let them come back to Cuba. And that's what we're working. That's what we're all trying to do, to reach that goal of a jury of millions, the public opinion that the U.S. government will have to consider. So I would ask all people to join in the campaign and join what our friends in Toronto and throughout Canada are doing to advance this goal. Join in the campaign, read about the Cuban Five, read the story, and inform themselves on the case, and then decide what they want to do. My opinion is that once they get informed about the case, they're going to realize that something needs to be done to help these 3 individuals that are still in prison, and they're going to join in the campaign.
Well, thank you, Fernando, for your opinions about the case of the Cuban Five.
Thank you. And thanks to all the friends in Canada